Alright, here we are on the battle map in the opening of the battle, and I'm going to open fire on the rebel troops with my light infantry and force them forward into my line infantry. And apparently, for the moment, the rebels are indicating that they just want to sit there and take it. So I'll go ahead and push forward just a little bit more to give my light infantry slightly better range on those troops. But I don't want to push too much further forward, or else I might accidentally get their troops within range of my light infantry. So this will set me up here. Let's see what kind of cavalry the rebels have. They have a unit of hussars there, and another unit of Castilian guerrillas over here. And those guys are looking pretty well dressed for rush these men forward, blast out the guerrillas, and make some cavalry movement all at the same time. And if I have to, I'll turn my other flank to meet the enemy should they decide to charge on me as well. And I'm going to use my non-general unit for my cavalry movement here. There we go. I've routed the that unit of militia there that the rebels had. They have one unit of militia here and one unit of armed citizenry, and I'm about to open up on them. And I took some minimal losses moving into position, as the rebels aren't fielding anything more than simply militia or citizen units. There they were bringing in their hussars on my flank, so I went ahead and formed into square. I'm going to pull my light infantry back and force the rebels to march forward into my line. And I've got my cavalry back here on the flank, just in case I need them. Looks like I'm easily winning the musket fight on this side. Although those stupid hussars came back when I wasn't looking and plowed into my infantry.
Sir, our general is under attack.
Saying my general's under attack, but I can't honestly say that I care since it's not an actual general. And I don't expect that anything's going to really cause me to lose this battle. Alright, we were able to make the push on this flank as I had hoped. And now we're going to push forward further, while my other troops hold the center here. And we're going to go hit some of these troops that are regrouping. I'm going to push my center forward at the same time. I'm going to pull my general unit back over here, as he's just getting shot at over in that area. Here I've hit those regrouped militia troops. Now I'm going to go ahead and charge the enemy general. I don't know if I'll win that fight or not. Hopefully I should, because I'm hitting him on the charge. So we'll see what happens. But that unit's probably going to have decent morale because the enemy general's there. Okay, my pushes forward are working. I'm going to push forward yet more and put more pressure on this collapsing flank. There you go. I'm just going to continually move forward and keep boxing the enemy in. Looks like the enemy general is running, and that's fine with me. I'll just hit him from behind and keep the fight going. So you can see the enemy units are all boxed in now, and taking an obscene amount of fire from my men. The nice effects of Napoleon Total War here. These armed citizenry may have picked the side of the rebels, thinking that it was going to be to their benefit, but little did they know that they were about to suffer a very painful beating. Now somehow, even though this unit has turned their back on me several times, that enemy unit of hussar, it must be because that's where their general is, and it probably had something to do with the morale factor. But oh well, it's not really that big of a deal. Alright, back on the campaign map, we now control that province once again, and there's just the matter of this rebel-controlled province here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and end the turn and see what happens. So, I guess one of my agents died there. I can't say that I really cared, to be honest. Let's Let's see how my... I think I was training an army in Madrid. Let's see if they are available yet. They are. And it's not a huge army, but it's an army that I can move over here to help control these rebel provinces. And you can see here that I had recruited a unit of hussars, and I'll probably recruit one more. Alright, let's go to my army that's on the coast, and let's continue our push towards the Pyrenees. And we're going to leave our militia troops to garrison the city, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. And we're going to push towards this this next French city up here. You can see that my troops aren't going to be moving quickly, as that's a heavily forested area. And it's also turning towards winter time, so if I'm going to make a push on the Pyrenees, I better go ahead and get my troops moving before it gets too snowy here. So I'm going to take this army and go ahead and push further onto the French. So we'll push onto this city. Looks like the French have some minimal defenses here. I demanded their surrender, which they were smart to accept. And I do need to train some units back here to garrison this city. I always want to leave some troops behind to make sure that they can't just waltz back into the territory that you just captured. So we're definitely trapping the French. We've separated their lines now, so they're trapped in two separate areas. So there's my recruitment report. Let's go ahead and end another turn. So you can see that I got workers on strike all over the place, and it's just areas that are unhappy because I've recently conquered them. And sometimes that has to do with tax situations and whatnot. But it looks like most of my territories are in fairly good shape. This is one of those territories where the workers are on strike. So if I just recruit some extra troops, it'll usually help put an end to that after a couple of turns. And we're going to keep marching forward here. So we're definitely pushing the French back about as far as they can be pushed back, and that's excellent. That's what we want. Like I said, we want to get our army through these mountains before it grows too late in the season, as sometimes you face winter attrition. There we go. So my troops have a long march, but we'll get through to that French city up there. And I recruited militia here, where once again I'm going to go back and change one of those units into line infantry. I'm going to have a lot of spare troops sitting around. If it starts to adversely affect my income, I can just simply go and disband unnecessary troops where I have to. Alright. Darn it. I got workers rioting. See if we can find out where that is. That's not so much a surprise to me. Stupid workers, just go to work. Bunch of losers. Ay, so annoying. Can't you people just be happy? Be happy with what life deals you. We'll see what happens there. I may end up with another rebel army on my hands, which would be quite frustrating, but at the same time wouldn't surprise me. Alright, sounds like a bit of a sound glitch there. We've got those guys on the march. And let's go ahead and march this army onto this region. So I now have men in the region of the Pyrenees. The French have 3 units of 6-pound horse artillery here, so that's a significant amount of artillery, but otherwise their troops are crap. So we're just going to besiege the city. Let's end yet another turn. Okay, so the French sent some reinforcements and they're going to attack me. I will show some of this battle on the battle map. Alright, I am on the battle map with some footage from my fight against the French armies. And you can see that I've already done some skirmishing, and the French retreated and regrouped their forces with their incoming reinforcements. So you can see their troops now coming in, and for some reason my light infantry are turned around backwards. Can't say I know how or why that happened. And I'm sure that the all of this French horse artillery out here is going to be firing like crazy at my cavalry that is in the vicinity. And the French have some chasseurs à cheval back here and some armed citizenry as well. but I'm not really too concerned if my cavalry get beat up. I just want to silence these units of artillery. That way they can't just sit back and cause me a lot of damage. So these are going to be mainly hit and run tactics on their artillery. And somehow on the charge, that unit of French artillery lost no men. That is pretty impressive. You get charged by a unit of light horse who specialize in charging tactics, and you lose no men. Anyway, I'm not going to comment any further on the rip-offedness of that. It looks like the French armed citizenry are wheeled up into a battle with my light infantry, and I don't really like how the computer's pretty good at sitting back and allowing
Our
your...
men are running, sir.
and getting... they get free shots in on your light infantry by just shooting at your light infantry, which is smart of them to do that. That's probably what they should be doing. So I lost one of my units of cavalry back here attacking the French general, but he's mostly dead at this point. I'm going to see if I can run him down. And I silenced a lot of the artillery, but like I said, a couple of units survived the charge of my horses, which seems a little bit unrealistic to me for you to be standing there by a cannon, get slammed into while you're immobile by a light cavalry force, and somehow survive. Of course, I should probably get my cannon to quit firing at my own troops at this juncture as well. And I do not understand why my troops are positioning like that. Pull them back once again. Try and draw the French troops in so I can kill them. And we'll charge this one last unit of French artillery here. I don't really care if I lose my horses, like I said at this point. I just want to kill this French artillery. So once I get off the field, it's going to be a pretty simple matter here.
Glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
Alright, so the majority of the French troops are routing. I've got armed citizenry coming up on my flank there. We'll chase them off. Maybe I can get a quick rout on this armed citizenry back here with my depleted cavalry. I do have some dragoons back here as well. I can charge the dragoons out. I'm going to go ahead and have my cannon just stop firing because I'm going to end up hitting my own horsemen. Of course, my dragoons, it'll take them a couple of years to get out here as they're big old fat heavy cav. And I may not even need them. I've already routed one unit of the French armed citizenry there with my 16 remaining horsemen. And for some reason here, my troops are having all kinds of pathfinding problems. Must be a glitch in the game. Anyway, I'll just charge them in and see if that helps. It says there is another unrouted French unit on the field. Oh, here they are. It's another unit of armed citizenry. We'll just go ahead and run them down. This battle is pretty much over. You can see I'm no longer having any trouble with this armed citizenry, who I taught a lesson by the bayonet. Like that guy right there. Alright, see back on the map. I'm going to make a couple of final moves before I end this series of videos here. And basically when we come back, it will be probably the last video in the Napoleon campaign. You can see that there is a giant army up here. Huge French army. So I'm definitely going to want to prepare for that. In fact, they could probably push back against me already and cause me some pretty severe problems. I'm going to demand this city surrender, and they did. So I'm going to peacefully occupy this city, and hopefully my troops will begin to recover from the fighting. Alright, the heir of Carthage signing off for now, and I will see you back after my business trip.